Jamaica and Ghana are taking their relationship to another level, and what is being discussed could have major implications for travel, business, healthcare, tourism, and trade between the Caribbean and Africa. And perhaps one of the biggest developments coming out of these discussions is the possibility of direct flights between Accra, Ghana and Montego Bay, Jamaica. Yes, you heard that correctly. Jamaica and Ghana are now looking at strengthening air links that could potentially make traveling between the two countries much easier. But that's only one part of the story. Ghanaian President John Dramani Mahama, during his official visit to Jamaica, met with Prime Minister Andrew Holness as the two countries discussed expanding their long-standing bilateral relationship. The discussions covered several major areas, including trade, investment, healthcare, education, tourism, air services, culture, and economic cooperation. And both leaders appear to have one major objective: creating stronger connections between Africa and the Caribbean. President Mahama spoke about the historical relationship between Africa and the Caribbean and the role that Pan-Africanism played in the liberation of people on both sides of the Atlantic. But according to the Ghanaian president, the focus today has shifted. The new challenge he suggested is economic emancipation, countries working together to create opportunities and prosperity for their people. One way Jamaica and Ghana intend to accomplish this is by encouraging greater investment between the two countries. President Mahama highlighted opportunities for Jamaican businesses to invest in Ghana, while Ghanaian businesses could also explore opportunities right here in Jamaica. And this could potentially open a much bigger door for Jamaican companies. Ghana is part of the African Continental Free Trade Area, giving businesses opportunities to reach markets across the African continent. Mahama pointed to a potential market of approximately 1.4 billion people. Think about what that could mean. A Jamaican company establishing the right operations or partnerships in Ghana could potentially gain greater access to consumers across Africa. At the same time, Jamaica wants to position itself as an important gateway for Ghanaian companies seeking greater access to the Caribbean and the Americas. Prime Minister Holness highlighted opportunities in areas such as logistics, tourism, hospitality, agri-processing, information technology, financial technology, and the creative industries. So, this isn't simply a diplomatic visit where two leaders shake hands, take pictures, and go home. They are discussing actual economic opportunities. But here's the part that could immediately capture the attention of Jamaicans at home and abroad. Direct flights between Ghana and Jamaica could eventually become a reality. President Mahama said the two countries need to activate their bilateral air services agreement. According to the discussions, the agreement is currently going through the respective parliamentary processes, and there is an intention to fast-track it so that national or third-party carriers could potentially operate direct flights from Accra to Montego Bay. Prime Minister Holness also expressed the possibility of tourism. He said he was particularly pleased with discussions surrounding air services and tourism and expressed hope that direct Accra to Montego Bay flights could happen in the near future. Now, imagine the possibilities. Instead of complicated connections between the Caribbean and West Africa, a direct route could make movement between Jamaica and Ghana significantly easier. And that could benefit not only tourists, but businesses, investors, families, students, and members of the wider African diaspora interested in reconnecting with the Caribbean. Healthcare is another major part of this growing partnership. Jamaica and Ghana have already reached an agreement involving the recruitment of healthcare professionals. Prime Minister Holness said the Health Cooperation Agreement is already beginning to produce results, with the anticipated arrival of nurses from Ghana to support Jamaica's healthcare system. The countries have also been working together in areas including defense, arts, and culture. And Jamaica now expect that relationship to deepen even further in health, education, tourism, and aviation. Prime Minister Holness has also accepted an invitation to visit Accra as Ghana prepares to celebrate its 70th anniversary of independence in 2027. There is also a much bigger economic vision behind these discussions. Jamaica is continuing to expand its port and logistics operations with the ambition of becoming an important gateway into the Caribbean and Latin America. If Jamaica and Ghana can establish stronger transportation, investment, and trade connections, the idea is straightforward. Make it easier for Ghanaian exporters to reach the Caribbean and the Americas, while making it easier for Jamaican exporters to reach Africa. That could create a bridge across the Atlantic, connecting two regions with deep historical and cultural ties. That could create a bridge across the Atlantic. And considering Jamaica's influence in music, culture, tourism, and entertainment, and Ghana's position with one of the world's fastest developing continental markets, the potential is certainly worth watching. But the relationship between Jamaica and Ghana isn't only about economics. Prime Minister Holness also used the occasion to publicly thank Ghana for the assistance it provided Jamaica following the devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa in October 2025. Ghana provided humanitarian assistance, while members of the Ghana Army Corps of Engineers contributed to Jamaica's recovery efforts. Holness specifically acknowledged assistance provided to communities in St. Elizabeth, including residents whose roofs were restored. He thanked Ghana on behalf of the Jamaican people and the communities that benefited from that assistance. That adds another dimension to this relationship. This isn't simply two governments discussing what they might do someday. There has already been cooperation during one of Jamaica's difficult periods. So now, Jamaica and Ghana appear ready to build on those historical ties and turn them into something much more economically significant. From direct flights between Accra and Montego Bay to nurses coming to support Jamaica's healthcare system, increased tourism, cross investment, trade opportunities, and potentially giving Jamaicans businesses greater access to African markets. There is a lot developing between these two nations. And perhaps the biggest question is, could Jamaica eventually become one of the Caribbean's main gateways to Africa? And could Ghana become Jamaica's gateway into the African market? Because if these agreements move from discussions into full implementation, the Jamaica to Ghana relationship could become much bigger than diplomacy. It could mean business, jobs, tourism, investment, and greater movement of people between Africa and the Caribbean. But I want to hear from you. Would you support direct flights between Montego Bay, Jamaica, and Accra, Ghana? And if those flights became available, would you consider traveling to Ghana? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you're new here, subscribe to CCN World TV News for more stories connecting Jamaica, the Caribbean, and the wider world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.